Happening YouTube, this is Lumari here bringing you the 5th installment in my BGC 15 live series from the February International Challenge. So straight off, we'll get straight into this match. The opponent's team consists of Talonflame, Klefki, Mammoth Salamence, Aegislash, and Venusaur. So we don't see too much of Klefki too often. The Mammoth Swine, I'm assuming maybe Scarfed. Salamence is probably the Mega, or the Venusaur is probably a possible Mega as well. And yeah, so this team is the Alpha Sapphire team consisting of Amogus Bishop, Kangaskhan, Landorus, T, Suicune, and Sylveon. And this is, to be honest with you, my preferred team out of the two teams I'm using. So, okay, so just got to decide what I'm going to lead with against such a team. Okay, so we're going to lead with Kangaskhan and Landorus T. Also have... we could go Kangaskhan and Suicune. Probably off for Kangaskhan, Landorus T. If he leads with Salamence. Yeah, okay. Kangaskhan, Bishop, Landorus T in the back, and Suicune. Yep, okay, I'm happy with that matchup. I would bring Sylveon, but there's Aegislash and Venusaur, deal with it, and Talonflame resist it, so it's not exactly the best matchup, especially with the Klefki as well, so... Alright, so he leads off with Klefki and Salamence. Okay, so this is a really good lead for me. I can essentially Oko the Salamence in its current state, unless it protects. So just going to fake out the Klefki and Sucker Punch the Salamence slot. Okay, so it has indeed gone for Protect. Okay, so what I'm going to do this turn is I'm going to predict him to predict another Sucker Punch, and I do have a Sash, so the best play I can do to get around that is switch in Landorus T, put the Salamence at -1, and use Knockoff. So if it does Dragon Dance, it'll be at normal damage. Yeah, or I could go for... Yeah, we'll go for Knockoff. And if there's another successful turn, so I'm predicting a Dragon Dance at this stage. The Klefki will probably go for something like T-Wave or Swagger, I'm assuming. So interestingly, the Klefki is going for Reflect, and the Salamence is a mixed Salamence. So it's a very smart play. Okay, so it's probably not the smartest idea for me to go for the Knockoff. What I will do now, however, is go for the Earthquake and Protect with Bishop. So the idea here is to maximize damage output onto Klefki, and the following turn to Sucker Punch the Salamence slot. It's interesting that we see a mixed Salamence. Unfortunately, gets the burn, but thankfully I have Lumberry. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to switch out our Landorus T into the Suicune. And we are going to Sucker Punch the Salamence slot. So he switches out Klefki into, what does he switch into? He switches into his Talonflame. We go for Sucker Punch. Don't know, knock it out. I don't think it'll knock it out with Reflect Up. Yeah, as it does not. So Salamence goes to Heat Wave. We'll take out Bishop, unfortunately. Unfortunately, Suicune gets burnt, so unfortunately he's had, yeah, for me, he's had 2 sets of burn hacks, and but I can't obviously heal off this one. So next best play is to go into Kangaskhan. And at this stage, I'm going to be forced into going for the Tailwind. Although it might not be the best play to do at this stage. A better play to do might be Ice Beam the Salamence and fake out the. We'll fake out the Talonflame, even if the Talonflame has Quick Guard. You know, it's wasted its turn essentially. Quick Guard, where I can just KO the Salamence. So we're not in the worst position. The Klefki is on very low health at the back. Okay, so it draws Talonflame, it goes into Klefki. Yeah, so Klefki isn't going to be around for much longer. As you can see, his Fake Out this gets it down to red health, so it's essentially chip damage. The Salamence decides to go for Draco Meteor. It's interesting, yeah, it looks like it's purely special, so... yeah, and it'll get me down to my Citrus Berry. And yeah, that's the end of Salamence. So, the next... I'm assuming that this Klefki is holding a light clay if it's running Reflect. So next play to do is to go for Scald onto Talonflame and switch out into Landorus T just to minimize the damage output. So hopefully with Talonflame at -1 I can try to live the incoming Brave Bird. But there's also a chance that he would have attacked the Kangaskhan slot. So he does indeed attack the Suicune slot. Sorry, Suicune. I don't know what slip my words there. And as he goes for a Safeguard. I believe Safeguard or no, light screen. Sorry, I did not see that. Okay. Okay. I assume he went for light screen. I don't know why I slurred my words there. The Scald, Scald will go on to Klefki. And we will Rock Slide. Yeah, we'll Rock Slide just to get the KO. So in either outcome, something will get OHKO'd. Sorry, KO'd. And Talonflame, yeah, he goes to Suicune. It's probably the better play because Talonflame won't take as much recoil damage attacking the Suicune slot. But we are going to Rock Slide anyway. So, so as Klefki, I think it was Klefki. Yeah, so we still knock out Talonflame, but Klefki avoids the Rock Slide. So the Klefki goes for Foul Play. This may knock us out, as it does. Okay, so it essentially comes down to Kangaskhan versus whatever he has in the back and Klefki. as he reveals that he has Mamoswine in the back. So the best play I can do at this stage is go for the low kick onto the Mamoswine. Mamoswine may be scarfed. That's something I'm going to anticipate. So low kick. Yeah, he goes for Thunder Wave. Okay, so it's probably not scarfed, but I need to not get Parahaxed in order to take it. So I dodge an Icicle Crash, and I do indeed land low kick. So thankfully, that's a very thankful set of circumstances for me there. I'm thinking at this stage just go for the Sucker Punch, because there's very little point in my opponent, unless he's running Swagger, to abuse that sort of a thing. But yes, because he's forced into foul play. So wow, that yeah, it doesn't do it anywhere near enough to knock out Klefki. But Reflect will wear off, and essentially this is game. So all we can try to do is to stall out my Sucker Punch PP, so Reflect is part of that. So I'm just going to play it safe and and go for the double edge. I could even go for the low kick. Doesn't really matter what we go for, just as long as we hit it. Yep, so that's game. Okay, so we are now going to find a second opponent. Yes, we do want to continue battling. So my current wins is 17, 7 losses, and 24 battles. So I still believe I have another 16 battles to do. Don't know how many more I'll get done on my other cartridge. So as our next opponent will be a 1590 rated player from Japan. Okay, so his team consists of, wow, Pelipper. Of all things, Pelipper, really? Pelipper, Machoke, Smeagol, Parasect. Ay. There's some pretty unique stuff there. Ay. This team. Oh, it certainly is surprising. Okay, so we are going to lead with Kangaskhan, Landorus T, Landorus T, Sylveon, yep, so we'll go with Sylveon, and goes Suicune or Bisharp. Believe we will go with Bisharp, because I want to figure out what has, stuff like Machoke is probably running the Eviolite, so I want to knock that off if I can. So definitely want to be using knockoff against this team. Okay, so thinking. I want to go for Fake Out onto the Whimsicott slot, and we're going to Rock Slide. Yeah, we're going to Rock Slide as well, so Scolipede won't take that too well, but Scolipede is obviously running Speed Boost. So it's something else to keep in mind as well. You don't see a lot of these Pokemon in VGC, so it's a very interesting team to see. Ah, so Scolipede avoids and goes to the sub. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, in this case, what I'm going to do is essentially this Whimsicott is going to encore me. So the best thing I can do is switch out. Okay, so we will do that. We are going to Rock Slide as well. And now I think our Scolipede is just going to view setting up. So if I didn't know any better, I believe this opponent wants to Baton Pass into the Machoke. So we're going to double up onto the yeah, we're going to double up onto the Scolipede slot. So we'll essentially Iron Head the Scolipede slot and Rock Slide. So we get a useless taunt from the Whimsicott, don't know what it's trying to achieve. As he goes to Baton Pass here, so I'm assuming he's going to Baton Pass into Machoke. Because it's a Violite, so it's going to be very bulky. And fast. Which goes into... Okay, goes into Smeagol. Okay. If I'm lucky, we can break Smeagol's... I'm pretty certain... Yeah, we break Seagull's substitute. And we Iron Head. So it'll take damage. Excellent. Okay. So all I have to do here is... I can't use Protect. Okay. What we're going to do then in that case is we're going to... I'm going to switch in Sylveon. Because I feel that Bisharp is probably going to be better for the duration of this match. And we're going to Rock Slide. Yeah, we're going to Rock Slide both Pokemon. So hopefully that works out for us. Okay, so the Smeagol is showing it has Spiky Shield. Okay. So we're going to protect with Sylveon and just Earthquake. We should knock out the Smeagol. And I do have a Lunberry, so if he does want me to sleep, he'll be wasting his time. And we'll get some really nice damage off him to make choke as well. Yep. So he does put me to sleep, but I do have the Lunberry. And essentially, yeah, this is why these sort of strategies don't actually work properly in VGC. Like, they work in singles, alright, but Baton Pass in VGC isn't exactly the most viable thing because you're relying on setup, and of course VGC is a fast-paced game, so yeah. I mean, all it takes is the right item, the right move, the right counter, and Baton Pass is puts you at a severe disadvantage if your opponent overcomes it. So we're going to use Hyper Voice, but however the Whimsicott, yes, the Whimsicott actually indeed can. It can indeed use the Encore. So what we're going to do is we're going to Helping Hand, Helping Hand, yeah, Landorus, and Rock Slide. Yeah, that makes sense. So even if Whimsicott does Encore me, it only Encores me into Helping Hand, not Protect. as it does, so there's correct call to make. So this may be enough to knock out Whimsicott, as it does. Yeah. And the opponent goes to Dynamic Punch onto the Sylveon slot. So it won't do a terrible amount, but it will confuse me. I think, yeah, with its ability. So, yeah, in this case, Scolipede comes back in. And just to be safe, I'm going to switch out. So I'm going to bring in Bishop and Rock Slide again. So as the opponent forfeits, so yeah, these sort of teams, I don't know why people play it. I think it's just for fun. But they're not the sort of team that we just went up against. Is not the sort of team you'd bring to a serious tournament. But yeah, again guys, thank you for your continued support. I'm not sure how many more matches I can get through, but I'm going to see what how many I can get through. And I think the next upload, I'm just trying to feature some more high-level players from you know, people with high ratings. So I figure that's more fun and more to your interest. And yeah, this sort of team is to my preference over the Omega Ruby team. So until next time, guys, take care.